The number one show I know that we all agree on is Break the Bank with X Lerk and Deion.
Welcome back to another episode of the Break the Bank podcast. This is your boy Lerk. As always, I'm with the homies X and Deion. We got a lot of funny shit to talk about. A lot of interesting things went down over the last few days. Fellas, how y'all doing?
Chilling, bro.
Let's start with where we left off last week. Well, we not necessarily left off, but where we started off last week, the Dylan Dennis Logan Paul situation. Nina's out there getting violated again. This time, I don't know. She kind of did it to herself. This video, the fact that this video was even recorded and made public, and then he got his hands on it. But she was on her Fat Joe shit, just talking about how much she loved dick and how much she needed.
Yo, as a Bronx native, I'm highly offended that you inserted Fat Joe into that unnecessarily. I know what you're referring to, but like without proper context, like that's a flagrant ass statement. So I'm just asking you to retract that statement, please, and thank you. That was crazy.
As his evil twin, I understand why you are appalled and defensive about it. But we can start there. That was a wild video. Dylan is really like trolling the shit out of them, and it's getting funnier by the tweet. Deion, as one of the Paul fanatics.
I'm not a Logan guy. He's a little weird to me. I do think his podcast used to be decent. I don't like it anymore, but it used to be decent. Yeah, bro, I'm not fighting Dylan Dennis if I'm Logan Paul, bro. Like Dylan already won. You're just allowing.
How's he still with his girl?
That's what I'm saying. I'm breaking up with her, and I'm telling Dylan like, nah, bro. I'm not one. Like, I know Dylan Dennis because I watch MMA. Who the fuck is Dylan Dennis? I'm not giving this dude the biggest bag of his life. I'm not giving him, if he knocks me out, like, I'm not giving him that ability. And I'm leaving her. Like, the two of them, I'm done with both those if I'm Logan, bro. No way.
And Logan was at the promotion talking about my sweetheart, all this extra bullshit.
I will say this too. So speaking of Logan, from that presser talking about that, and then now this new video, the last podcast I watched of his fiance, I think her name's Nina. She was on it, and she goes, obviously there's stuff from your past that I didn't really like know too much about that held me back from wanting to date you at first. And there's like if you go on Dylan Dennis's
I
Twitter,
saw that.
Yeah, that clip. I don't know the context behind the clip, obviously, but that clip to me, if I'm Logan, her saying that bothers me more than anything she's done like with a dude in the past.
Yeah, she was talking about she didn't know she wanted to be associated with him because of certain things from his past. And yet, like, first of all this shit was public before. Dylan Dennis is just now bringing everything together and putting it at the forefront of this whole feud. And it's made for elite content.
Yeah, if he didn't know the video existed, if he didn't know her like dating history, like first of all, I'm not one to care about someone's dating history. So like I think it's funny. I mean, the jokes are hilarious. But like if Logan was like, yeah, I don't really care what she did in the past, like I'm not gonna disagree with him on that. But if I didn't know her dating history, I didn't know that video existed, I didn't know what she was doing in like out, and then she made that comment, that's where she would lose me. Where it's like, you can't say that about me when like I'm finding out from the dude I'm supposed to fight that you've been with half of Hollywood.
Yeah. X.
I hate all of these people. I wish I went to work for all of them. So I don't really got much else to comment. I hate all of them.
I don't know. This whole shit is funny, bro. Like
It's
he's
funny.
really wilding. He's really wilding, but like she low key did this to herself.
See, the thing is, I don't think she cared. Like all of this shit he's posting is like TMZ pictures, right? And I mean, if you're an A-list celebrity Obviously TMZ follows you around. If you're this Nina chick, she was probably calling TMZ to take these pictures. So she
That's,
wanted, you know what I
that's all I
mean?
want to say, bro. Like,
Yeah.
bro, you can be a jump off in Hollywood, but to be that sort of jump off, all she was looking for, like, how can I get lit? How can my name be out there? And the
Right.
fact is that she's gonna turn whatever what we like to call negative attention. She's gonna find a way to parlay that into like some brand partnerships or some bread. So there's no victims here. Everybody's getting exactly what they want.
Well, Logan's a victim.
Well, Dylan Dennis posting the
Is he
video
though?
of Logan Paul proposing was comedy too.
That was
Bro,
pretty funny.
That was
these dudes
brutal.
have been humiliating themselves for years for views.
This is different though, because in my opinion, at least, I mean, I'm not one to humiliate myself regardless, but if you're humiliating yourself because you're on the road to becoming like a multimillionaire, right? Like that's different. Like you're chasing a bag. There is no amount of money that can change Logan Paul's life at this point. Like he has everything, right? Like he could quit this YouTube shit and be the most popular wrestler in the world tomorrow and make 40 M's a year doing that. So he doesn't need it anymore. So like I think this level of humiliation is gonna be a little different than anything like he's been through before, which is why I'm saying if I'm him, bro, I'm not fighting this dude and I'm not dating her or getting married to her unless I already knew everything.
Speaking of chicks with shaky past, Eli Apple, whose baby moms also has kids with a couple other players in the NFL,
That's crazy.
out there on social media putting a bounty on his head.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you read behind me, this is her posting about Eli Apple. If you play against my baby dad this season, please go for the knees, maybe a hammy.
That Hammy's crazy.
She offered to pay the fine of anybody that injures him. That's crazy.
But what'd he
That's
do?
crazy. How much money does he owe in child support for you to say something like that?
Why does she need to say that? She should just ask one of her other baby daddies to do it.
I think they both also offensive players. If I'm not mistaken,
That's perfect. That's what they need.
Josh Jacobs. Oh yeah, is Josh Jacobs and Geno Smith.
Geno.
Yeah.
I don't know why Geno surprises me, but for whatever reason, Josh Jacob like adds up.
Yo, I'm finished. Yeah, X. As a man with a baby moms, what are your thoughts on that? Like for me, like I low key wouldn't be surprised if my baby moms did some shit like this if I was in his situation.
I don't blame her.
Me neither. But X, what are your thoughts on this whole situation?
I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably like a 1.5 in terms of like something that a baby moms could do to like get back at you. I thought it was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? And he probably laughed at it too. You know what I'm saying? So it was innocent fun. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Eli Apple's already hated by a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So me included. So again, another instance where I hate all parties involved, and I wish him nothing but the worst. You know what I'm saying? I hate Eli Apple and his moms too. Shout out his moms.
You know why you hate his moms? That was
bro, because she was like, I don't know. He's like a real big mama's boy. So like his mama was like when he was a giant, was like the one complaining to the media and the team and like demanded playing time and all that. You know what I'm saying? He's a clown. She's a clown. They both clowns. Shout out his baby moms though. But dang, that's impressive. 3 baby daddies in the NFL.
That is
and it's
impressive.
Not even like they're old, like they're vets. Like, these are all like, you know what I'm saying? Josh Jacobs been in the league, what, 3-4 years?
Yeah, and you know, if they lucky and the pop's not really active in their lives, they all might grow up to be NFL players too.
Bro, like her future's set. She gonna get at least 1 first-round pick out the lot.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So
she getting at least 1. At least 1. And bro, Geno just signed a new deal too.
Yeah.
And Josh Jacobs is about to sign a new deal.
He's supposed to be getting something similar to Saquon. He already signed.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about like a big one, like a real deal, not a little 1 year shit. He signed his franchise tag, I want to say.
Nah, they did some restructures supposedly.
Oh, okay. Either way,
Supposedly before the news came, before he reported back to sign or whatever, he met with the GM at some restaurant the day
yeah,
before.
I mean, shout out to her. What a
I mean,
resume.
she bagged like three, bottom tier. It's like a running back. Like, come on, the average lifespan of a running back is 2.5 years. The earning potential is limited. You know what I'm saying? She probably thought she had one with Gino or QB, but it's like you got to do your scouting. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't. Look, we make that mistake too. I think the art of evaluating quarterbacks is lost now. So she fell into that. But Eli Apple, she should have known. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen.
Wait, hold on. The audacity of you.
Yo, fam, where Anthony Richardson balls out, like I'm gonna ask
Do we
the great
do we
editor
need to
go
revisit?
back and all the slander that you have for Anthony. I just want you to splice it together.
Yeah, I'll
nice
do all
background
that for you.
music.
But before we do that, do we need to really list out all the quarterbacks that you co-signed in the last 2 years?
Davis Mills, and that's he was a product of the system. You know what I'm saying?
Davis Mills,
Look, they
Malik
brought in Lovie
Willis.
Smith. Lovie Smith was like 5 and 100 at Illinois. They brought him into Houston. Like, come on, you expecting to win in those conditions? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Listen,
we're not justifying back in Davis Mills, are we? Is he really trying to do that?
Sometimes though, it's quantity over quality. Between Gino, Jacobs, and Eli, that's 200 M's, one way or the other.
Yeah. I get her money now, though.
Because Gino had to have just got 100 or close
to. Only like the first
wasn't it with like
3 years
75, something like that?
Nah, it was inflated. A lot of that.
3 years. Yeah, he got 3 for 105.
Yeah, but how much guaranteed though?
Probably
like
not
30, something like that.
I would say 25, 30 most. Which look, hey, she's not gonna be skipping any meals. I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? If she would have nabbed her like a Jalen Hurts, she'd be set for life. She don't even need 3 kids. She just with one, she's good.
Quantity over quality.
But again, it's a long.
She got it done one way or the other.
We don't know what the salary cap is going to be by the time those kids turn 18, 19. So if they're first round picks, then she's Gucci. If any of them get a second contract, she be living like Oprah. So shout out to her.
I mean, if Gino gets another deal, like Gino easily could make another 100 M's in his career.
Another 100.
That's a lot. That's a little ambitious, but
I mean, let's see.
Gino shut me up
how
this
year,
year, so I'm in no position to slander him.
I don't. But I think it all depends on how old he is.
So he's 32, so he'll be a free agent at 34. Like
he's not making another 100 mil after this contract.
Easy. If he's still a starting level quarterback by that point, like all you need is a 3-year deal, and you're making 150, 160. With how much money quarterbacks are going to be making by then? Because the average salary of a quarterback's got to be of a re-signed quarterback, I should say. It's got to be well over 40 M's. If you don't factor in like rookie deals and shit.
Yeah.
Hell, Jimmy G just got another 70. Derek Carr got another 80, 90.
They also not 34 years old.
He's 32.
32.
Yeah, I said after this contract.
Oh, sure.
I mean, they're literally the same. All 3 of them are the same age.
I mean, I guess we'll see in a couple of years, right?
Rodgers just signed like $700 million. He's like 40.
Aaron Rodgers, Geno Smith, bro.
It don't matter. Like, you can play quarterback till you're 50. If he's still a starting level quarterback at 34, no one's gonna be like, "Oh, we don't care because he's 35 years old. We'd rather play with the kid from Iowa."
But I guess we'll see, bro.
Yo, Lerk, no free ads, but Mike Tyson just released a line of vapes. Fire. Fire. Them Cato bars that I used to, Elf bars for the pores. I'm only smoking I Ain't Mike from now on. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, at 34, Russell Wilson signed 200 M's too.
Oh shit, yo.
Yo, real quick, can I just say
You naming quarterbacks that Russell Wilson, that Geno Smith's never been in their tier. But what you was about to say?
Gino was better than
like
Russell.
a quick 90-second rant. It's random. You can cut it out. Your fantasy football sucks now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it's bad. Like, I've always been a fantasy football head, but like with the state the game is in, bro, like running backs.
You had a bad
ends.
draft, didn't you?
Huh?
You had a bad draft.
No, I mean, I'm me. I'm still me, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
So I don't know why you're talking about I'm me. First off, we know 80% of your league makes the playoffs. You texted us that.
No, but that was me fighting against that because I'm like, yo, what are we doing? But
what is it, like 8 out of 12 make the playoffs?
These are all like Venezuelan immigrants who've never watched football. My homeboy showed up in a Puma Miami Dolphins jersey. I said, fam, where do you find a Puma Miami Dolphins jersey? Easiest money I've ever made in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a guarantee.
The reason why fantasy football sucks is because you're playing with 15 people that never watch football.
No. I play with people that
one of the team. You just said that it's a bunch of Venezuelan immigrants.
No, that's like one league. But I'm just saying, like,
you got one team that the dude drafted all kickers.
No, well, my bad. That was random, but
I respect it. Let's move on to the next topic. Over the weekend in Alabama, head coach gets upset at his son who's on his team, throws his headset at his helmet, breaks the headset, and a big commotion breaks out on the scene. That same weekend in Atlanta, head coach gets caught on camera cursing out a player, yelling at a player, and then catching him with a body shot. The uppercut to the stomach, right on the sideline.
Bro,
turns out that head coach is a volunteer head coach.
Every movie you've watched where like the cop walks up to like the criminal, you know what I'm saying, and gives him like the shot to the ribs to shut him up. Like, the technique was so disrespectful.
I've received one of those.
Yeah. Like, right in the solar plexus. My homie was at that game. He was like, that game was as ratchet as you would expect it to be based on the fact that one of the coaches punched one of the players. He's like, it's typical for the type of environment that I was in. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, apparently that coach is some volunteer coach, bro. He don't even have nothing to do with the school. He's not a faculty member anyway. He just volunteers to coach that team and got so upset that he punched one of his players in the stomach. Like, that's wild.
I know it's not funny, but it's like, I'm also like, I grew up getting coached mad hard. Like, my first time playing catcher, the coach saw that I was a little bit scared of the ball. So he had my whole team line up and just throw baseballs at me. You know what I'm saying? So I would stop being scared of the ball. And I was like, yo, that's perfectly normal. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I think this shit funny.
If you was that kid's father, what you gonna do?
I mean,
I don't think he hit him that hard. Personally. Okay, I guess it depends. Like,
on the surface, it's foul. But some of these kids, they be wilding, bro. Sometimes they need a little punch to the solar plexus. Like, yo, got him out there. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, because it didn't seem like the kid was really arguing back.
There's a ton of
no video. That's why.
There's a ton of
before he got hit.
But I don't know. There's a ton of context I would need to know. Like, is the kid good? Right? Like, is it one of those things where like he's really good and then he's playing like shit, so they're trying to fire him up? Was he disrespectful? What was the play? Like, on paper, yeah. I mean, obviously you should never put your hands on a kid, but like, if the kid is a prospect, right? Like, let's say he's a borderline Division I, Division II prospect, and the pops told the coach, "Yo, coach my kid hard. He's got to get to the next level. That's the only way he can get out."
I don't know if punching a kid in the stomach constitutes as coaching him hard. I don't think that I don't think that falls under the umbrella of coaching a football team.
But here's my thing. I know it's easy to point and be like, "Yo, that's fucked up." But what's more barbaric? a swift punch to the solar plexus, or making somebody like do 2-a-days in like 110-degree heat in Texas, making players work out till they throw up. One of
I
those
was
is
gonna
more
say,
detrimental
I
to that
understand
player's
what you're
health.
saying.
I was gonna say, if you told me I could be punched with my full pads on, or I'd have to do 300 yards in bear crawls, I mean, it's a
Give me the
pretty
punch.
easy decision. It's a pretty easy decision which one I'm gonna take.
Yeah.
Lerk never played sports.
I understand what you're saying. It's just that,
And he's sticking with his brittle bones. Like, yo, that punch would fold me in half. So we should lock him
it's just
up.
like, yo,
know
you can say what you want. You
It's
could
like, yo,
compare
those
it
of us
to
that
a
are
bunch of other
able-bodied
shit,
could
but it
probably eat
doesn't
that.
change
You
the
know what I'm
fact
saying?
that it was wrong. Like,
Of course.
It's wrong. Yeah, of course. But
Of
like
course.
99% of what you do within coaching is wrong.
90% is a bit dramatic, but there's a lot of
It's not like some of the shit we've had to do in practice is like crazy. Like I remember one time I banged heads.
I'm sure you deserved it though.
No. Well, I mean, maybe it depends. Obviously, I would say yes because it made me better. But like, I'd say to the naked eye, anyone would say no, right?
Like, you
But
deserve
like,
it. You're a piece.
I mean, I've definitely been concussed. But like, let's say I'm being lazy in practice. I remember my coach said, "Oh, like he's fine. He just feel bad." You know what I mean? Like he feel bad for himself. Like that is wrong. But to the naked eye, who the fuck's gonna say that's wrong? If I'm telling you I got issues up here because I banged heads with someone on the hoop court, and your response is you just feel bad for yourself, that's wrong. But it's not.
Yeah.
You're not gonna stick up for that. You're not gonna sit up here and defend that. I tell you right now, if he told me I'll punch you in the stomach, then you can go get your head looked at. I would have taken that.
And plus, look, coaches be wilding, but I'll be honest, the good that some of these coaches do, I think greatly outweighs some of the negatives. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. So that brings me to this. Where do you draw the line as far as a head coach at any level of any sport disciplining one of their players?
I mean, he got pads on. If this was hoop and he punched a kid in the stomach, I don't know. I probably have a different.
I mean, but the pads don't
Did the
cover
kid even have a
stomach,
reaction?
bro. Yeah, he did. He was slumped over. But
I didn't see that.
the pads don't cover their stomach anyway. It covers their chest and their shoulders.
If it's like all the way down there, it's pretty.
Stop it.
Look, I think to summarize it,
but either way,
action,
but
no one can say that the action is right.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Forget about this. Out of context, listen.
Forget about this specific incident. Where do you draw the line at? Like, because like you said, there's a lot of shit that coaches do that be out of line, right? And then a lot of that shit is still beneficial to the player as far as development goes. Where do you draw the line as far as disciplinary actions from a coach?
I don't think you can do that in a general sense, because I'm telling you right now, like if that kid is dumb talented but he's a dickhead, I'm not tripping off that punch the way I am if that's like a 4.0 honor roll student who really probably shouldn't be playing football at all. You know what I mean? I don't think you can't make a statement like that from a general sense of the word.
Or maybe that player like did some dickhead shit, right? And like did something selfish to put his entire team at fault. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he had like a rough, like, a penalty. You know what I'm saying? For doing something stupid that was like he should know better. Like, again, does it justify him being punched in the stomach? No, but again, it sounds like we're trying to defend it when now we're just saying that there's areas of gray when it comes to coaching. Because again, what's more barbaric, the punch to the stomach, or if you know that you got a monster at safety and then he went and told that, let's say he's a receiver, like, yo, go run an Oklahoma drill against little Tay-Tay, knowing that little Tay-Tay's a monster is going to rip his head off. What's more barbaric, right? So again, now, in a vacuum, it's like, oh, well, it's just two players running an Oklahoma drill. But you know in your head, you did that for a reason, because you wanted to inflict pain and violence on that young man to teach him a lesson. So today might be an Oklahoma drill. Tomorrow might be a punch to the stomach. One is going to be looked at like, oh, my God, you're a monster. The other one is equally as dangerous. Some would say more dangerous with the head
more
trauma
dangerous,
that's
yeah.
involved.
It's more dangerous.
You know what I'm saying? So, again, there's areas of gray.
Or it's like, I mean, everybody's played a sport where their teammate get into a fight, and I mean, I wasn't one of the ones that didn't move because I was always down for that. I was a dickhead. But we had dudes on our team that wouldn't move, and when we got back, like our coach would legitimately be livid that we all weren't fighting, right? Like, what's more barbaric, encouraging your team to fight or throwing a punch? Like, it's the same shit. Or, I mean, Wednesday was puke day. That's fucking ridiculous. You got to practice till you puke. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of shit that goes on, especially at the high school level that like a lot of people don't know about. I mean, the football team at my school, the head coach got fired because he was having people fight each other when they weren't like tough enough. Like, that's crazy.
Like trying to toughen them up.
Yeah, trying to toughen them up. Or it's like, I remember too, like, moreover, X probably had this happen too. When you're a little kid and you play a sport for the first time that requires a cup, and they take whatever ball is in that sport and throw it at you. Like, I mean, if you asking me if I'd rather be punched in the stomach or have a football thrown at my balls, like, I mean, again, it's a pretty easy choice. Like, there's a lot of shit that I've seen or had happen that I'm not saying is correct, but is a lot worse than this.
All right, so last topic of the week. Giannis threatening his future with the Bucks, talking about he's not gonna re-sign with them. He's not signing no extensions unless he believes that this team is committed to winning some championships and competing for the title. We've spoken about this team in the past. They're in no position to really move forward or make any upgrades. This team as is, at least in my opinion, is not a title team. X, I know you love to drag Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday through the mud, so let's start with you. What are your thoughts on this, and where do you see this ending?
I think he's out of there after this year. I mean, you just look at it like, and maybe that was a ploy, right? Because Chris Middleton is up for a contract. I don't know if he signed that contract extension yet, but like, would you feel comfortable maxing Chris Middleton out for like 4 years? I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Drew, I love Drew, but I think his best basketball is probably behind him. More than likely, I think he's taking a slight step back defensively. I think that's only going to get worse as time goes on. And we know that team is not going big into the luxury tax like Steve Ballmer and the Clippers and the Suns and them. So he's looking at it like, yo, my surrounding cast is getting older. You know what I'm saying? If Brook Lopez would have left, they would have been cooked. And if, like, I like Brook Lopez, but like, if you're a Brook Lopez leaving away from like not being a contender, I think that shows how fragile your contender status is. I think Giannis sees that. So I think he'll give him 1 year. But I think unless some major changes are made, I think he's probably up out of there after this year.
So Drew Holiday his contract is gonna expire soon. He only has 2 years left on his contract. One of them is a player option. And Chris Middleton signed the contract extension. He opted out of his last year and signed the.
Oh, he signed it already? Okay.
Yeah, he signed a 3-year 102. So he actually took a pay cut to get this contract.
Not a terrible contract. That's not terrible.
I'll be to interrupt, but there's like a bunch of pictures of Ja working out this summer with shirts that just have one word on it: gratitude, rebirth, accountability. Yeah, David Stern came back from the grave and said, "Ja." that is the David Stern work of art. That that's the funniest shit I've seen in a minute. I couldn't disagree more with the whole they're not contenders thing. By the way, that was insane.
I didn't say they're not contenders. I said they're not a title team. I think they can make it to the finals because of the fact that the Eastern Conference doesn't really have anybody.
Who the hell the West got though?
Nuggets, Warriors, Lakers.
Don't get me wrong, I like the Nuggets, but they're not like the fucking Warriors. Like, they can be beat. It's just
I'm not saying
they
can't. I'm not saying that they're unstoppable. I just think that they're that much better than the Bucks.
I don't. Well, it's fine to think that on paper. I don't think there's a world like this specific season they are. Like, I don't think it's way too entirely hard to go back to back. And then you have a guy, your best player doesn't really like playing basketball, so like that makes it even harder. And then Jamal Murray is like known for being fat. That's definitely going to happen now that he's won a championship. Like Michael Porter Jr., also known for not necessarily being in shape. Like they lost Bruce Brown, who I know you're a huge fan of. I don't know, bro. Like it's really hard to go back to back, and when you don't have like that level of like killer and work ethic in you, which the Nuggets have proven not to have so far, it makes it a lot harder.
You making it about the Nuggets? You ask who does the West have? I'm saying
No, because you
they're
said the
better than
Bucks could make it to the could make it to the finals, but you
But can't beat
implied
the
that
West.
Yeah,
it
but
would be
I
a huge
still think
underdog. To,
if
like,
the Nuggets make it to the finals, I think they win.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think so.
I feel the same way about the Warriors and the Lakers.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I think the point is like to say that they can't win a title or like they're not a title team means that they don't have a chance. Like this Nuggets team, there's no one in the league, or this Bucks team, there's no one in the league they can't beat, right? Like, sure, you might think so and so is a better team, but like I think the Warriors can win a title. Do I think there's better teams? Yeah, like the Bucks, for example. But do I think they're that much better to where like Steph can't just go crazy for 4 games? Like, no. Giannis could win a series on his own with the state of the league.
So, what do you think about this whole situation and his hesitance to negotiate a new contract?
I get it. I don't think he really ever wanted to be in Milwaukee. I think he wanted to leave the last time, but it's like, how can you leave when you win a title, right? I think it's going to be the same thing. I mean, we're going to talk about it more closer to the season gets. The Bucks are my title favorite again, to be honest. So like, I think it'll be the same situation. Like he wins the title, he just resigns.
So you got them winning the championship this year?
Yeah, I mean, I chose them last year. Uh, Nothing's really changed on that front. Like, if I don't think any team is the only team I think significantly better than last year is the Warriors, and I don't think they're better talent wise. I just think they're better. Like, it's a better fit roster. But I don't think the Lakers got better by re-signing everybody. I don't think the Nuggets definitely didn't get better. Celtics got worse because Porzingis' foot is cooked. I don't know if y'all.
I would say that if his foot isn't cooked, I think they have a potential to take a significant step
Did
forward.
you hear his
It's just
quote?
plantar fasciitis, though, isn't it?
Did y'all hear his quote?
No.
So he's not playing in the World Cup because of it, and he said
Oh,
he was supposed to. He committed to it.
No, yeah, but because of that, he needs to rest and get ready for the NBA season.
He's not resting. He was working out with his team, and he can't go through a workout without it swelling. And he was supposed to be full go, and now they're talking about surgery. His foot.
So it's worse than. So it's not just what they reported then. If he's gonna get surgery.
No, well, they don't know. They don't know. Like it's still up in the air because he's in like Tiberia. I don't know where that fucking
Latvia.
Is. No, it's somewhere Istanbul, maybe. It's somewhere over there. I don't know where he's at, but like his foot here. I mean, I'll look up the real quote, but like his foot is cooked.
If his foot is cooked, then the Celtics season might be cooked as well. But they got enough to, and they got enough to withstand. No, if they don't make any major moves, they have enough to withstand the regular season, but not the playoffs.
I'm not gonna say
he says the foot hurts after exercise. I have an idea what the origin of the injury might be, but it's something that builds up over the course of a career and pops out at one point. It got worse during the training process when it started to hurt. Then I couldn't get rid of the inflammation. Like for a guy that big to have foot, injury, it's over. It's over. He can't work out. Like it's over. So they got worse. I mean Philly. What are we talking about? Miami without Dame, like one of the things about Miami is that everyone had the same common goal. And if half the roster is supposed to be traded for Dame and you don't get Dame, like I don't think that's going to be the same locker room. You know what I mean? So I don't know, bro. Like every team has question marks. In my opinion, the Bucks have the fewest of those.
Death. I just don't think they're deep. Never pulled hammy or tweaked hamstring away from like, you know what I'm saying? Because we've seen Drew can't be the second best player. And Chris Middleton, if Drew's not there, Middleton isn't the type of defender he used to be. So they just don't have good point of attack defense. And I just don't know, like, Like, who's their ninth? Who's their eighth man? Like, who's their eighth best player? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know who that would be. Like, but they need somebody who like those Dante DiVincenzo minutes. Like I don't even know. Like they were relying on like Grayson Allen. You know what I'm saying? Like to play minutes for them. Like I don't know.
I'm not saying like they have a perfect roster. I'm saying they have the fewest question marks, in my opinion.
No,
And
if healthy,
yes,
I just don't
obviously
think they can
like
make it to a regular season healthy.
Drew and Middleton, like injury woes, is a question mark. But you can say the same about Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. Right? Yeah. You go down the line of teams, you can say the same thing. But each team has additional question marks, right? Like Embiid's health is a question mark, but it's not just that. It's like, will Harden be on the team? Will he not be on the team? So on and so forth. Like Chris Paul's health is a question mark, but there's also the question of like, will Draymond Naruto punch somebody in training camp again? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know. With the Bucks, we know if they're healthy, they'll show up and play basketball.
With every passing minute, I'm more convinced that I'm Team Draymond in that situation. But
oh yeah,
that's for another podcast.
But no, Draymond was right. But like,
so let me ask you this, Deion.
It's just like that football coach, right? Like he might have been right, but he's always going to look wrong.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. This is for both of y'all. What are the odds that Giannis is gone before this contract is up?
I think Giannis plays his full career in Milwaukee. I really don't think Giannis is built like that. If he were to leave for anywhere, I think he'd leave for like Saudi Arabia.
You can't wait till Saudi take over the NBA.
I'd say there's a 40% chance he leaves. More likely than not that he stays, but still a legitimate shot that he leaves.
Okay. I could see him finishing his career in Milwaukee. I could also see him getting fed up and getting the hell out of there.
I think the only way he leaves is if he has the opportunity to play with Luka or Steph. That's it. And one of those dudes I don't think will be around long enough to have that opportunity. So
yeah.
He ain't just gonna leave, you know.
No.
He's not just gonna go somewhere, but like
he'll do them the solid of fucking letting them know so they can trade him.
I just think it would have to be with like one of his boys, right? Like he wants to play with Steph. He's already said it. I don't think that opportunity will arise because of Steph's age. And then he speaks so highly of Luka too. Like it would have to be one of those two, I would say, to convince him to leave.
Okay.
I mean, those were the two. If you think about it too, those were the two teams
that season that he was gonna bro. It was us, the Raptors, and the Bucks were the three teams in the mix.
I forgot about the Raptors
because of Ujiri, the African connection. You know what I'm saying?
I would throw the Raptors in there, like Toronto, Mavs, or like Warriors because of Steph. But like I said, Steph's too old, so it don't matter.
Yeah. We could wrap it up after this, just real quick. Y'all had have both y'all had all y'all fantasy drafts yet?
I've had two. I got two more this weekend.
4 is crazy. I can't do more than one anymore. What about you, X?
I got 2 more left. I've done 4 maybe.
Okay. PPR.
I've done 3. I got 2 more left.
Who's your first round pick?
So one of them was keeper, so I didn't have one. I normally go QB because I do real leagues. Like I hate these people that do like the one quarterback leagues. Like that.
You do 2 QB league.
Oh yeah, if it's one, I'm out. Like it's not amateur hour. Because like it just devalues. Like I did one quarterback league this year. I got Mahomes in the 5th round. Like you know what I mean? Like it just devalues the quarterback position so much. Because worst case scenario, you could get Jared Goff with your last pick. He should not be. That shouldn't be his value.
I'll tell you what I did. I took Bijan Robinson 2nd. And I'll tell you why.
2nd overall?
That's crazy.
2nd overall. I don't trust CMC to stay healthy all year. Justin Jefferson went 1st overall, so I couldn't take him. So it was either like Jamar Chase, CMC, or somebody like that. I don't trust. I'm just something about that Bengals connection. I don't know. I just think Bijan is going to get. If you look at the Falcons' rushing stats from last season, they were near the top of the league in rushing yards, near the top of the league in rushing touchdowns. I mean, they had like Cordero Patterson and Algier putting, they were fantasy relevant. If they are going to hand all those touches to Bijan Robinson, I think
in Cleveland now, right?
Who?
Algiers in Cleveland now, right?
No, I think he's still in Atlanta. He was a rookie last year. But I think the
Lerk just made
he
up
doesn't have to be a
he just made up a whole city.
Wait, who?
No, Lerk. Like when he said
Lerk.
he's in Cleveland, right? Like that there's no links to Tyler Algier Cleveland. He just made that up. There's not even a rumor.
Yeah, the entire draft room was surprised that I did that. But honestly, that just goes to show, like, somebody took Nick Chubb 12th. If somebody picks Nick Chubb 12th or picks him second or third, you feel the same. You're like, yeah, it's Nick Chubb. So that just goes to speak, like, the first round is a crapshoot. My advice, if you can land the top running back in the top of the first round, do it. And then go receiver. And then the last, like, 8 or 9 picks, just rack up handcuffs and late round running backs because they may only be relevant for a week or two, but you can kind of piece together your RB2. And then
I was just curious. I was just curious as to what your first round picks were.
The Giants center fielder just saved a no-hitter.
Yeah, nobody cares.
I've been taking Derrick Henry. I'm huge on the Titans this year.
I hope you're at the end of the first round.
Nah, I've been taking him pretty much wherever, bro.
I mean, taking him in the first round means that you're under the assumption that he's going to be RB1 this year.
Derrick Henry. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I know what you're saying, but
it's like
he's not prime Derrick Henry either.
It's like X said, like you're choosing between CMC, Chubb, Jacobs, Bijan, Henry. I don't think CMC is going to play the full year. Eventually Chubb has to die down. I don't want to take Bijan. I don't really do that. And Jacobs just showed up this week. So I think Henry's my best bet of that group, to be honest.
So why not go wide receiver?
Because you can get Debo pretty middle of the draft. And I think
why not take Kelsey?
Yeah, I don't do tight ends.
The thing is, if you take a tight end, here's the thing. Like, I feel him. If you take a tight end early, you're going to hate how your starting lineup looks.
Oh, look, see, I understand. Look, I know that you could get Waller later on in the draft. You could get Andrews later on in the draft. You could get Hawkinson later in the draft, Pitts. You could wait till later to get, but the gap between Kelsey and number 2 is going to be way more significant than the gap between RB1 and RB2 and receiver 1 and receiver 2.
I'll tell you why I don't take Kelsey. Because if you're taking Kelsey in the first round, you need him not to be tight end 1. You need him to be wide receiver 1. And I can get tight end 5 in the 15th round. So, like, I'd rather take Jefferson, Chase, or someone that's going to score more points than Kelsey.
No, I'm saying it. I'm talking about if you're not getting those guys and you sitting there taking Derrick Henry.
There is one exception to that rule, and it's for my draft on Sunday. I'm picking third, so it doesn't count. But this league gives an extra half point to tight ends per catch. So it's
tight end premium?
Yeah, so it's I want to say it's half point PPR or full point PPR for receivers, and then it's either a full point or 1.5 for tight end. That's the type of league. If I was picking 6 or 7, Kelsey would absolutely be right
there. Okay. Well, we can wrap it up right there. That's it for this week's episode of the Break the Bank podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And next week, we got a surprise guest to kick off the NFL season with us.